wished, is this the appropriate word to say, Avengers, assemble. Now, if there only was a B word that rhymed well with Black Bulls, assemble. It just doesn't rhyme as good, does it? But what definitely rhymes is this chapter. It is a very big flash, and now it's going to make a dash right to the enemy and defeat them and take all of the homes in. Well, either way, the Angry Emmy fan here, bringing you Black Clover 164. After Luck finally let out the tears, he's actually back to his old smiley self as he gives a happy kick to Magna, and also is happy that Magna showed his emotion, although he of course denies that. It also turns out that Vanessa did multitasking during the fight because she managed to save the citizens with a thread magic, but that's some pretty amazing. So after that, finally the gang can ask Asta what the sword is that he has gained. Of course, Asta himself doesn't know what it is, but he does confirm something to us. Although this does contradict the first time he used it. When he used it the first time, he only needed to use it once. However, here he actually does say, one hit won't do it. If I get him more few hit, he can undo the reincarnation magic. The first elf they purified, he went down in one hit with that thing. So that does contradict a little bit what he said. However, again, as he said, they fought Luck and he had to hit Luck a couple of times before the reincarnation magic actually worked. Or maybe it only works if the tip is the one who touches them. Either way, we should at least be happy that it cannot do just like that. He has to connect it all. But then they also begin to mourn a little bit for the elf boy that passed away because they had to free him from that one. It also mentions that Luck says that he saw the memories of the elves and he thought they looked like nice people. But the magic that surrounded them were sad and lonely, or at least the magic that surrounded the reincarnation elves are sad and lonely. One more hint that this reincarnation magic was a failure. They are becoming something that are not elves, they're becoming dangerous people. To themselves and to everyone else. Did Petroli even think of that, or did he just not care? I think it's both, actually. So they know that they can save the humanity with this sword, but the question is, again, will that be enough? So they have to go to the capital to save them all. So Luck escorts them over to the base first in order to regroup, and it turns out that after having Ludin in his body, his body actually remembers the spells that Ludin used, so that has actually made Luck even stronger than before. I mean, it was almost the same with Juno, although Juno is currently an elf, and although not possessed by one, it seems that it's the case. Their bodies remembers the time the elves can use it, therefore they will become stronger after they're purified. Although the first guy they purified has yet to demonstrate that. Either way, they get to the base of Black Bull, but it is in ruins. Luckily, however, Gray, Gordon, and Henry are unhurt, which of course a lot of people are going to complain about. After all, they faced off against Elf Gosh, but again, it was an Elf Gosh in Gosh's body. I think he's subconsciously held back, or at least tried to. So, well, and here comes the comedy part of it all. It's the fact that Asta can understand what they're saying. As soon as they see Henry, Mana tries to approach him in order to teach him a lesson, but his mana gets drained off, after all. And we actually see how it works. It flows into him. But it also turns out that Asta has actually already met Henry. And that makes sense, after all, for since Asta has no mana at all, he is the only one that can get close to Henry without him draining anything from him. Effective, there was a lot of people who talked about that before. That made sense, but I didn't know he had already met Henry. How did he do that, and when did he do that? Who cares? At least it's confirmed that way. The funny part is that when they ask what is going on, Gordon explains in mumble, Gray in her sad shyness, and Henry with his slowness. But Asta, for some reason, can understand all of that. How can he do that? Well, I guess in the end it takes a moron to understand shy people, right? Or maybe something like that. The fact that they talk so quietly when Asta is so loud, it just makes it more funny. They also mentions that Gosh in the Gosh inside of the guy who possessed him very likely fought back in order, and that's why they are not dead. But he has left for the royal capital, probably to reunite with his elf sister that is married, as well as destroying the humans there. So they need to go to save him, but not all have magic power. Then suddenly Charmy appears, and at the beginning it looks like she's also an elf, but it turns out she's not. She just has a sauce from on her cheek. And the reason why she is pissed off is, of course, again, because her secret garden of food, especially her secret veggie garden that she somehow had in her base, has been destroyed by Gosh. So in anger she asks who it is, and the Black Bull for the first time actually gets afraid of her. And here comes the real funny part is, she then gets motivated to work. Well, that's how it is for Charmy. She's kind of useless when she's not motivated, and the only time she is motivated is when food is involved. Although there was one time when food was not involved, and she was very much involved, and that was when Finral was about to be killed. That was one of the rare times she was serious and food was not involved. But when food is damaged, you know she gets serious. And here comes another amazing thing. As soon as she hears that the other people have not so much mana, she cooks them food that actually makes them get back a lot of their mana. Once again implying that if Charmy wasn't so distracted with food all the time, then her magic would become, then she could possibly use her magic to incredibly versatile effort. I mean, it was even said in the Water Temple, the fact that she could bind those thugs, and they say that's kind of amazing. It is. So I mean, I think the only time when Charmy actually thinks of this is when she will think of this. But the fact that her food can get back mana to people, that is amazing. Although I think she has always known that. It's just that she has not really used that before. But she has always served food to her Black Bull members, so maybe it was then. It's just that this was advanced. So even so the Black Bull have a short meal scene with including with Henry, although he is a bit worried that he will drain all mana out of them. But since they're eating this mana, this food thing, they will get back it. As I said, that he cannot. Sorry that I'm yawning so much of this. It's been a long day. Just is a little bit sad that he cannot get mana from this one, but hey. It's a very nice scene seeing Black Bull, even though they have not as much time, all eating very quickly the food together and having all the different talks. As Henry is saying, this is the Black Bull I know, but being part of the group feels even better. And so with his reinforced magic, revived magic, he rebuilds the Black Bull base in combination magic and creates raging Black Bull rampage style. This time a bull that actually can run on its legs. With that, Black Bull team is assembled, still with food in their mouth, but now inside their base. They are heading out to save the kingdom, save Gosh, and save everything else. That final picture of this chapter. Golden, my friends. That's golden. I mean, it may be a little gross to see they have food in their mouths when they say let's go in, but the fact that all the Black Bulls are assembled and they're saying, yeah, let's do it, although in different ways. That's just golden. It's perfect. Cannot complain about this chapter. Love it. Although one can complain, the only thing one can complain is that Luck has recovered from his sadness pretty quickly. But then again, that was his kind of character, so you have to expect that. Other than that, a wonderful chapter. a lot of heartwarmingness, and it's so awesome to see that a lot of Black Bullies gathered together. Now they only need Sora and Gosh back. I mean, Jamie is also, and of course Vinrol, but Jamie is the captain, so that's different. But the fact that Henry now can transform the base even more than he could before, that makes us actually wonder: can he make that into a Gundam? Well, technically, he already did make it to a Gundam. But what I mean is, with his reincarnation magic, yes, how powerful can the base be? But yeah, he's also joining this. The question is also if he will drain all the mana unconsciously. Who knows? But Charmy, you keep feeding them, and they will rock on. Give me your thoughts if you have any.